multiply and divide by 10, 100 and 1000. Now when multiplying and dividing by 10, this has the effect of moving all the digits one place to the left or the right respectively. For example, let's have a look at 5.12 times 10. Now to help for the first few examples, I'm going to do a hundreds, tens and units column. So we've got 5 units and then 1/10, 2 hundredths. Now if we times this number by 10, what we really do is move each of the digits one place to the left. 5 units, if I times that by 10, become 50, or 5 tens. 0.1, again, times that by 10, it moves one place to the left, becomes 1 unit. And same with the 2 in the hundredths, one place to the left becomes 2 tenths. Copy the decimal point from above. So if I times 5.12 by 10, it's 51.2. Similarly, let's have a look at what happens if we divide by 10. So again, here's 100 tens in units. This time, if we divide by 10, each of the digits moves one place to the right. So now the 5, instead of 5 units, is going to be 5 tenths. Instead of 1 being 1/10, it's going to be 1 hundredth. And the 2 will instead of be 2 hundredths, it'll be 2 thousandths. Again, copy the decimal place from above. Now, although sometimes say 0.512, in mathematics we wouldn't really write it like that. We need a 0 in front. It's 0.512. As a cheat, you can use moving decimal places. I mean, mathematically that isn't correct, but it's sort of the old school way of teaching it. If you times by 10, you move the decimal point one place to the right, which is what really happened here. Instead of 5.12, it's 51.2. And when you divide by 10, you move it one place to the left. So instead of 5.12, it was 0.512. So let's do a couple more examples. What is 932 times 10? So again, 9, if we times it by 10, it's going to move one place to the left. Instead of 900, it'll represent 9,000. Then the 3, instead of 30, I times that by 10, it's going to represent 3 hundredths. The 2 times it by 10, it represents 20. And I need to fill in the gap with a 0. You could do it the long way around using your hundreds, tens and units column. So start off with 932. Move every digit one place to the left because I'm timesing by 10. And then we stick a 0 on the end. Get the same thing, 9,320. Let's do a divide by 10 one. What's 0.018 divided by 10? So all the digits move one place to the right this time. So instead of 8, that's really a thousandth. We're going to move that into the tenths of thousandths. That's going to be 8, 1. Instead of 1 0 before, we need 2 zeros, because everything's moved one place to the right. Again, we can use... Here's the units, we're on 0, then tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and then tens of thousandths. We've got 0.18. All the digits move one place to the right. Oops, remember to copy the point from above. 0.0018. And again, you can use that shortcut. It tends to work best with decimals when you've got a decimal point already in your answer. Move it one place to the left. So instead of 0.018, it's 0.0018. Whichever method you prefer. Now to multiply and divide by 100 or 1000, we simply move the digits 2 places or 3 places respectively. So 2 places for 100, 3 places for 1000, and the pattern continues. So for example, 5.12 times 100. I'm not going to do the hundreds, tens and units column this time. I'm just going to use a trick, moving digits 2 places to the left because it's times 1000. Times in, digits go to the left. We're making the number bigger. So instead of the 5 representing 5 units, it's going to represent 5 hundredths. Then instead of 1 representing tenths, it's going to represent tens, and the 2 will represent units. So all digits move 2 places this time to the left, and it's 512. Oops. And 5.12 divided by 100. This time, since we're dividing by 100, all the digits move 2 places to the right. Here we go, 5.12. So instead of the 5 representing 5 units, it's going to move 2 to the right and represent 5 hundredths. 1's going to move 2 to the right, 2's going to move 2 to the right. But remember where the decimal point was, it's here. We've got 2 gaps, we need to put a 0 in each. So it's 0.0512. Again, you can use moving the decimal point, even though it's not mathematically correct to think of it as moving the decimal point. You're really moving the digits. So if you multiply and divide by 100, it's moving the decimal point 2 places. 5,000, it's 3 places. So here we can see the point was between the 5 and the 1, and then at the answer it's moved 2 places and ended up at the end. For the other one, again, it's between the 5 and the 1, it's moved 2 places to the left and has ended up 2 in front of the 5. Let's do 2 more questions. So, what is 38.6 times 1,000? Now, because it's 1,000, we need to move 3 places. Way of remembering how many places, how many zeros there are. So 10, 1 0, move 1 place. 100, 2 zeros, move 2 places. 1,000, 3 zeros, so move 3 places. Times in, numbers getting bigger, so all the digits are moving 3 places to the left. So I'm going to copy this number down to start with. Quite handy this because I've got squared paper so I can see places it needs to move along. So 3 places, instead there's 3 representing tens, 30, it's going to move 1, 2, 3, and end up here. That's representing tens of thousands. Do the same for the other digits. The 8's going to end up here, and the 6 here. And decimal point is all the way down here, so we need to fill in 2 zeros. And then we can see that's 38,600. Again, you can use the cheat of moving the decimal point if you want to. Do this in a different colour. So 38.6. Decimal point really would move 3 places, so it'll go 1, 2, 3. End up there, so we've got 2 blanks, and you get the same number, 38,600. And one more. What is 2.08 divided by 100? So this one's got 2 zeros, so we're moving 2 places. Dividing means they move 2 places to the right. So 2.08. All the big digits move 2 places to the right. So start with the 8, that's going to go 1, 2. Then the 0, then the 2. Looking where my decimal point is, I've got a gap here, and I wouldn't say 0.0, you say 0.0208. And again, we could use the trick of moving the decimal points. That's really had the same effect as moving the decimal point 2 places that way, and we had to put a 0 in front.